Hey there, friends. Let's talk about one of my favorite games of all time. This is called Quacks of Quedlinburg. Boy, that's a mouthful, eh? Don't worry about it. That's the hardest part of the game, pronouncing it. Now, this is a 4-player board game, but doesn't use a traditional board. It can play up to 5 if you get one of the expansions. There's actually 2 expansions for this game. So if you end up liking it as much as I do, I know a bunch of people that own this game, and those people all have expansions, and they're really fun. You can play a game of this in about an hour, maybe a little less. About 45 to an hour, I'd say, is a good estimate. It's pretty quick once you know what you're doing, because the nice, cool thing about this is everybody can play at the same time. They all take their turn simultaneously, which means that there's a whole lot less downtime than you get with most normal board games, and that's pretty nice. I like that about a game. Another fun element about this is that this is what we call a push your luck board game. And what is a push your luck board game? Well, let me put it for you this way. You have a little space, right? You start at the 0, and then you gain points to go around them every turn. And the more points you have, the farther around this little spinny doodad will be. On your turn, you're going to have a sack full of stuff, and you just reach into your sack and grab stuff out. And hey, look at that, I grabbed a little cardboard chip. I'm going to put that little chip somewhere on my board, however many points it's worth. I'm not going to go into the full rules here, as I think, frankly, we don't really have time to go into everything. But I tell you what, here's how a normal turn is played, and you can see it's pretty easy. So on your turn, you're going to start by grabbing stuff out. Now, you're going to have different colored chips. I have an orange one here in my base game. I have a green one here, and I got a bunch of white ones. When I'm pulling these out, I pull them one at a time, and then I place them on my board. Now, if I ever pull more than 7 total white ones, and that's the number, because some of them say 2, some say 3, some say 1. But if I ever go over the 7 of them, well then, oops, I bust. And then I'm not doing as good for that turn. Busting's not the end of the world. Sometimes busting can be a viable strategy. Sometimes busting makes you feel good. But, this is a pretty easy game. You're going to buy other colored chips. Look at that, I got a whole bunch of chips. You're going to buy them, you're going to earn little rubies, and you're just generally going to have a pretty easy time. It's a very forgiving game. It's a very simple game. And it's usually between $25 to $50 I see online. I believe I bought mine for $35 at nobleknight.com. I like them. They're pretty good. Amazon works too, of course. I'm not going to tell you who you have to shop with. I'm not really here to sell you nothing. I just think this is a really fun game. And hey, as another shameless plug, I know I've said this before, but I'm all about saving you money. Check out your local library. In my state, the libraries have like a consortium thing, and they can loan out to each other. So you can order a game at one library and it'll come to another library. So maybe check it out. Maybe you can find it. Let's talk about replayability. Each of your little different chip colors that you can buy have their own rules attached. They all do different things. And look at that. There's 2 different pink ones, but you only have 1 pink thing. That's because there are multiple choices, which gives you great customability. And what does that mean? It means the game's super duper replayable. In fact, the game's so darn replayable, I've never played with any of the variants, and I've played this game at least 10 times. It's super easy. It's just really fun, Check it out. So let's talk about how do we find people to play with. Well, first and foremost, of course, there's Meetup. I do like Meetup quite a lot. I have plugged that. But you know what? Maybe you live in an area where there really is no Meetup available. Well, how about we talk to your local church or your local library? A lot of places, heck, even coffee shops sometimes do game nights. Oh, and even better than that, maybe you have a local game store, a place that sells board games and whatnot. A lot of those places will let you come in and play, because a lot of them have tables set up because they're trying to, get you in there to spend money, but you can just have a fun time in there. You don't have to necessarily buy much of anything. But regardless of any chance of that, you got to be proactive here. Remember, I'm all about personal accountability. If you want to be happy, you want to have friends, you want to have a sweet board game crew, brother, you got to go out there and build it yourself, man. I did. It's a pain in the butt, don't get me wrong, but you know what? It's rewarding. Anyway, I'm at about the end of my 5 minutes, so I'm going to take off here. I'll talk about those 2 sorts next time, probably. Or maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. It's funnier if I don't tell you. Anyway, you have a good night.